Two words come to mind when I think of Bob Brock. One is generosity and integrity. He ran his business in a very honest, straightforward way, always looking for bargains, always looking for the deal that would help make his business more successful, but did so in a way that was honest and upfront. He was always honest and upfront with people.
He believed in the free enterprise system, he believed in capitalism, he believed in free markets very strongly, and made them work.
He took on the task of creating a Holiday Inn empire that was 76 hotels in number, but it was the largest Holiday Inn franchise operation in existence at the time. He started here in Topeka with that concept and built from Kansas, and then developed that concept throughout many states from the East Coast to the West Coast, from Florida to California. And in doing so, he became very well known and respected among Holiday Inn franchisees, and was a good friend of Kemmons Wilson, who was the founder of Holiday Inns.
Bob and his partner at the time owned a lot of Holiday Inn stock. So needless to say, when we were traveling about, we would always stay at a Holiday Inn.
It was his idea, along with others who will take some credit for it, to develop what is known as the Holodome. Here in Topeka, we refer to our Holiday Inn out at 6th and Fairlawn as the Holodome. And it was his idea that brought that concept to life and was accepted by the national organization, creating holodomes all over the world. But one thing that was unusual about Bob Brock is he was a very successful business person, but he was also a very ardent and very successful Democrat. So he brought Democrats and business together in a way that almost no one else in this state has ever done.
Oh, Bob worked until the last vote was in. And of course, you know, it is too bad the way we're set up now. It's daylight saving time leaves, and then you have the election very shortly thereafter, and it gets dark at 5 o'clock.
Bob told me in the first campaign, before we got ready to vote that day, he said, now go out and buy 300 flashlights. And I thought, where do you buy 300 flashlights and batteries? And the answer is you buy them everywhere.
Bob Brock came into the room as if he were a locomotive, as full of energy as I've ever seen him, handed me $50 and ordered me to go buy flashlights because we were going to go get the vote out. And he rallied people into their cars. I bought the flashlights, and we got out and got at least 50 more people to the polls that night.
Bob was quite a political scientist, and that he knew this area pretty well.
On campaign night 1970, he said, Betty, we're going to win this. And I thought, how does he know we are going? And he listed off the precincts that we should have, what the number should be in the precincts. He would say, this is the number we need, this is the number we need, this is the number we need. Can you see that we are going to win this? I learned to read 2nd District, even as it changed. I learned the numbers. Bob taught me all of that. He taught me the map of Kansas.
After we decided that I was going to run, we got together about a dozen people, and we would meet almost every night. And one of the early nights, we talked to about 1 or 1:30 a.m., and our 15-year-old son was there listening. And so we started to drag ourselves upstairs to the bedroom, and I said, Bill, what did you learn tonight? He says, I learned that Bob Brock should be the candidate. And I think many people would like to have had Bob as governor of our state, for example.
I think he had a secret desire to run for governor, but that opportunity never presented itself, so he helped others run for high public office. He was also very well connected with leading Democrats nationwide. He was a close personal friend of Bobby Kennedy, for example. He was a close personal friend of President Jimmy Carter.
In 1975, when Carter was still governor and was working the country, he came here to speak for us in February. Bob liked Carter very much, and Carter liked Bob.
He was known nationally. He was known in political circles, both on the Republican and Democratic side, known and respected, but did his work here in the state of Kansas and the city of Topeka to help people get elected to office. I know he had a deep and lasting commitment to his family and his children. He had a number of very talented kids, and I know that they were his top priority, and even though business was important and politics was important to him, the family always came first.
Bob had a wife that was very well liked, Louise, and they had 5 sons. Big house. We used to have a lot of fundraisers and things of that kind there. Louise had a monkey that ran around the backyard, and they finally did away with that.
Bob was very, very smart and could do many things at once. There is a picture of him, I believe, that Louise put together, where he is seated in the center and he is playing each child, each boy, a chess game. And he goes from one to the other, to the other, to the other as they're playing chess moves, and he is teaching them the rules and regulation of chess, and that was a great fun thing for him.
Bob was probably the most optimistic human being I've ever known.
Bob told me, he said, Betty, all you have to do is get to the top of the hill and look down. That his hill of knowledge was so much greater than ours that we had molehills and Bob had mountains.
He was a very high energy person. He looked at every opportunity with a positive slant to see how we could make this deal or that deal work.
He was intelligent, he had a great deal of energy, he was generous, but above all other things, he was an optimist. He didn't think there was much in the way that he couldn't conquer.